Today is day 3 of Hike Thanksgiving week, and I'm exploring trails just locally here. I'm along the Sudbury River. There is record of indigenous population going all the way back to the Middle Archaic period and the archaeological periods. That would be about 5,000 to 8,000 years ago. In what's called the contact period between 1500 and 1650-ish, when European settlers encountered indigenous tribes, there were 2 tribes here, the Mescataquib tribe, which gets their name from the Native American word Mescataquib, which means like these marsh grass areas, and they were really important for getting a lot of resources for the tribes. Also, the Nimpuk tribes lived in this area, and both were dependent on the hills surrounding the river and the shallow marshy rivers and all the natural resources they provided. When there were textile mills in the area in the 19th century, a lot of dyes were discarded into the river, and these dyes contain mercury. So the fish that is now caught in the Sudbury and Concord rivers are poisonous for human consumption. They contain traces of mercury. And I'll also be walking in the neighborhood of American writers Thoreau, Emerson, the Alcotts, and Hawthorne. So today is my Transcendentalist hike. One of the things I love about the land around here is how much conservation land is set aside for agricultural use, and how much people use it and support it. And here is the sparkling Fairhaven Bay, which is just a section of the Sudbury River that sort of opens up wide. It really is a beautiful place to paddle if you're into canoeing and kayaking. I've been out there a few times in the summer. Here we are, the train tracks to Boston. So it's kind of fun to walk over the train tracks, which I've actually never done, because I see all this when I'm on the train to Boston. We pass all this and I'm like, oh, I kind of want to walk down there. So now I am. This is fun. I'm up here on Emerson's Cliff. And this is where the writer Ralph Waldo Emerson used to come up here and think great thoughts. It is a nice little secluded spot up here on top of the hill. I'm waiting for the great thoughts. Please, great thoughts. Just going to sit here now and have my snack and try to think transcendental thoughts like Emerson and Thoreau. Here is the beautiful Walden Pond, beautiful iconic Walden Pond, which has been immortalized in the book by Henry David Thoreau. Geologically, Walden Pond is a kettle hole, and a kettle hole is formed by receding glaciers, and as the glaciers kind of recede, they gather sediment, and the sediment traps ice in, and then as the ice melts, it leaves divots in the ground, and sometimes they're really big and have filled in to create lakes and ponds. Sometimes the divots are just little dimples. There's lots of kettles around here, so often you can tell when you're in a kettle because there are a lot of ridges around, and you kind of feel like you're walking on a rim. So sometimes the divots of the melted ice are really obvious, and sometimes the land just kind of feels a little dimpled. So anyway, Weldon Pond is a large example of a kettle or a kettle hole, and you kind of see the ridge around it. So as the ice kind of melts out, it leaves that little dimple in the ground, and so that's a really interesting geological feature of this area. Hey Thoreau, how's it going? High five. It seems like anytime you're going in the Sudbury and Concord direction, you're gonna have to encounter Route 2, aka the Cambridge Turnpike. But I was really happy to know about that hiker tunnel, which I didn't know existed. Now we're entering a region called Thoreau's Path. And so this is an area where Thoreau used to like to take walks. So see, my friends, great thoughts come with good walks. No wonder then that the white birch is so prevalent and characteristic a tree with us, and that the seedling birches spring up every year on so many neglected spots, but especially where the surface has been cleared or burned. I see in the open field a few pitch pines springing up from seeds blown from the wood or 12 or 15 rods off. In a few years, if not disturbed, these seedlings will alter the face of nature here. What is faith if not translated into action? Mahatma Gandhi. That land is a community is the basic concept of ecology, but that land is to be loved and respected is an extension of ethics. Aldo Leopold. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? Henry David Thoreau. So this is a really meaningful spot. A lot to think about, and the fact that, yes, again, we are in a kettle hole area. You can see by the little ridge behind me, and makes it feel all the more intimate. The white birch trees kind of gleaming in this last hour of daylight. following the Emerson Thoreau amble. Started their walk, be like, hey Emerson, let's go for a walk, I'll meet you at your place. And then they start like right here. Just in the nick of time as the sun is setting.